Hey guys, Ningen here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are doing another one of the no item runs on the category stages of Super Battle Road. Those of you who've been following this battle for the Super Battle Road King will know that we finally have completed all of the 10 original monotyping stages, and so now I've just got the category stages to do. This is another one of the ones that I had beaten before off camera, but obviously the whole point is to have a video for each and every one, so I needed to record a second run. And I did change my team slightly. Ever since we found out that this Gohan on the end was getting an awakening, I decided to go ahead and rainbow him, because I've had all of his paths open and him at Super Attack 10 for quite a while. I've pulled tons of copies of him, plus his Super Attack is farmable, so this first rotation was not the best. I decided to put the Gohan at the front because of the int attack, knowing that he would take a little bit of damage, but then B-Pan would be able to heal us up a little bit. But she does take a super attack, but she does manage to guard, so 70,000, still a fair bit of damage, but not terrible. And then yeah, this Gohan does have a small chance to stun, so he manages to stun the Tora on the end, which is actually really clutch because he is probably the biggest liability on the team, but he is here because of his free heal. So funnily enough, I did record this one the other day after work before I saw the post, but somebody did tweet at me and they had managed to do the Hybrid Saiyans run with no items, and they too used this Tech Gohan. Well, I'm not sure, I don't think theirs was rainbowed, and I thought it was pretty cool because I'd already recorded this run and I don't think I've seen anyone else using him on this stage, because he is a little bit of a liability. You'll see in this video he does get hit pretty hard whenever he does get hit, but I gave him full dodge and some additional to try and get that stun. But of course he has that clutch healing. He will heal us to full one time only if we are under 30% health, just like the AGL or physical Whis. So that's basically the reason why he's here. Since we can't use items, we don't have the 6th turn fusions like on the Patara fusions or the super stage with those units. So we need as much healing as we can get. So of course that is why B-Pan is on the rotation. I'm going to have her linked up with the other STR Pan who I have got rainbowed as well. They are a ridiculously strong defensive rotation. And then she, as long as her passive activates, can tank really well. I'm trying to decide whether to use her active skill here, because this isn't necessarily the hardest hitting rotation we can have on this team. But Pan does heal based on the damage she does, so I wasn't too sure whether to use it, but I do decide to save it for now. We've got decent blocks for this turn in terms of the type advantage at the end there, because Gohan can have a bit of disappointment attached to him when the RNG doesn't activate for his defensive passive. He can take quite a lot of damage as well, so I thought this was the best way to run the team for this stage, because I do have the Go Bros, but I have no dupes in them. So on Super Battle Road, before they get off a couple of attacks, they can actually take quite a lot of damage. Whereas my Gohan does have 2 dupes, and of course he gives the team more defense overall. So I decided to balance it out with a mix of bringing Gohan as my leader, leaving my Go Bros behind so we could have the double Pan rotation, but then I picked a Go Bros friend. I think this one has 2 dupes. So we keep getting really lucky as well with all the attacks in the first slot whenever the Go Bros are here seem to come from Bardock, so that's going to work out nicely. They only need a couple of attacks to be able to tank really well at 79%, so I know that we don't have to worry too much. Obviously if the physical, if Shugesh super attacks in that front slot, we could be in trouble, but since Goten picks up most of his defense from supering, we can't really put him there because Bardock would deal a pretty significant amount of damage to him even if he didn't super attack. So there you go, we take very little damage thanks to the Go Bros, and then get rid of Farsha just to get another unit out of the way. The less units around to hit you, obviously, the better. So seems to be going okay here. Additional from Goten. So now we take a super attack, which is not great because we neutral typing, so 120,000 damage, and we had the Gohan on this rotation, so we're not going to see him for another 3 turns, so we need to try and play this as defensively as we can. Of course, here we have Pan on the rotation, so we can get some nice heals from B-Pan. And then, even though she is taking an attack from Bardock there, the normal STR Pan should still tank incredibly well. She stacks her defense up so high that this defensive rotation is going to be very, very good. And B-Pan even getting her level... I think I only gave her level 3 dodge because she's a good tank. Because she deals damage based on the... she heals based on the damage she does. So I tried to give her quite a lot of additional and crit, so she can deal damage and heal, and also maybe additional because she can stun with her super attack as well. So she is all around very, very useful. The fact that she's an LR now, she's even better. So she is very, very good on this team. And then, yeah, yet again, the only attacks in the front slot are from Bardock. So we can get all these tech orbs here for the Go Bros. I think I just focus on trying to get rid of Shugesh this turn, just to get rid of him, since we have 2 other STR types on the team that can hit fairly hard. And there's a few nice STR orbs there to pick up as well for the healing. So everything's going pretty well so far, even though we took that big super attack when we didn't really want to on Go 10. We have bounced back pretty damn well. We've got, what, 450 odd thousand HP, and we're at 270. So definitely not bad. Getting that healing from B-Pan every turn is super useful. But then, of course, Bardock goes ahead and super attacks Go 10. And then, as always seems to happen on these runs, it's either always right before or right after taking a super attack. They seem to level 3 dodge a normal. So it's the curse. But then, of course, perfect timing. Gohan is back, and we are now at full health. So that's basically the reason why he's on the team. We just get a free heal here. And now we can put B-Pan at the front to block Borgos, and then I'm not sure if I go for the stun on Bardock, because he is going to die this turn. No, so I go to stun him, yeah, since he is probably surviving the turn. But then between Pan and Gohan, they should take out Bardock. The other thing that Gohan does on the turn that he heals you, he also gives himself a 200% attack boost. So that's the other reason why I went for the stun on Borgos, because I felt pretty confident that with that 200% boost and type advantage, that the Gohan on the end here would be able to take out Bardock. And sadly, B-Pan did not stun Borgos, but this Pan maybe would have taken him out of a crit. But there you go. I don't think I've ever seen him get a million attack stat, so there you go. And he even came through with the stun, but it was not necessary, and Bardock is out of here. So good rotation for the Go Bros. As long as he doesn't super attack, they've already built up their defense so high that he's not really going to hit them for really any damage. So hoping it doesn't pull the old Super Battle Road trap on me and super attack. But he doesn't. 17 damage, and then we are over 4.2 million attack stat on the Go Bros. So unsurprisingly, nice big duo Kamehameha there, and we take out Borgos and finish the first fight. And we are basically on full HP. And then we are going into the next round, not only with our double Pan rotation, but we have Ultimate Gohan here, who gives them that little bit of a defensive buff as well. So we obviously need to put B-Pan at the front, because STR Pan only starts building up her defense by super attacking. So we definitely need to make sure she gets a super attack off before she takes any hits. She does have a built-in chance to dodge as well, so there is always the potential that that will come into play and she could take no damage at all. So I decide, since we've got all STR types here, we're just going to focus on Raditz, try and deal as much damage to him as we can. And then B-Pan's passive manages to activate on the second attack. And I don't know if you're not aware of this, once it activates, it stays activated for the start of the turn. So we only had to take one hit that was above double digits, and then of course the fact that we get an additional super as well, we're just straight back up to full health. So Vegeta decides to counteract that with a super attack of his own. But as you can see, we are still looking very, very good for health after the start of that turn. So all going very well. When you see here, only one super attack off, and that Pan already tanking for next to no damage thanks to the extra buff from this Ultimate Gohan here. He manages to crit on Raditz as well, so he gets super attacked. So fortunately, he is an STR unit with pretty decent defense. So considering we took 2 super attacks that turn, this really isn't that bad damage. So This turn is definitely concerning me a little bit. I decide, because Gohan is going to take a lot of damage at the end there unless he can stun, I decide to put Goten in the front slot. And of course, I completely missed how full the Dokkan bar was. So this pause here is me cursing myself for not paying attention. So we are getting the Dokkan attack with Goten. Obviously, I would have much rather gotten it with the Go Bros, especially the 18 key super. That would have done quite a lot of damage. So, I mean, Goten is not the worst unit on the in the world. It's much better that we got it with Goten than we got it with the other rotation, and it was down to either B-Pan or the STR Pan. That definitely would have been a bigger waste of the Dokkan mode. So, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. I know from this that we are going to deal a fairly decent amount of damage, at least to Raditz. I think we take out Raditz. Yeah, we do. So, little chunks taken off of Nappa and Vegeta, but we haven't taken a huge amount of damage since this fight started. So we're not relying on the Dokkan mode to give us a full heal. Considering the health that we're on now, we should be okay. And then, of course, Gohan and Goten, taking quite a lot more damage from Vegeta than I expected. And Gohan not getting the stun on Vegeta, so I'm definitely getting worried here. 100,000 he took from Vegeta and 70,000 from Nappa. Wow. So actually, we were very close to dying on that turn. And it's only the heal from the Dokkan mode that we have so much health here. So yeah, that was definitely not the turn we would have hoped for. So I decide to pop B-Pan's active skill here, solely for the fact that because she heals you based on the damage she does, I want her to deal as much damage as possible here. So I use her passive, get her ultra super, and then we just kind of have to hope for the best. So since he has the lowest health already, I'm going to focus on Vegeta, especially since the Gohan at the end here has type advantage. So we just got to try and get rid of him as quickly as possible. And if B-Pan does happen to stun, then that's just an added bonus. So she does get the stun and a crit, so 520,000 damage. As an LR, she heals you 33% of your HP, so that's like almost 150, over 150,000 HP we get back just from that crit from her. So that's super useful. Obviously, Nappa tries to screw with our plan a little bit and super attacked me straight afterwards, but we are hanging in there. So I think next turn we are getting the Gohan back on Icarus, which is going to give us that full heal if we can get below 30%. Which, as you can see from the bar there, we are just over 33%. So we're still in a little bit of danger if a super attack comes our way, but as long as we don't get supered, we should easily drop below 30. That's why I'm happy to pick up those STR orbs at the end there with Gohan, just to give us a little bit of HP back to try and survive the turn. But I feel like we, like I said, as long as we don't get supered, we should drop below 30% but not die. So, additional with a crit from the Go Bros, and then yeah, they're now able to take basically no damage. And yeah, that hit from Nappa kind of seals the deal there, that we drop below 30. So, full heal from Gohan again, proving his worth. I decide though, there's no point throwing away that free heal by taking over 200,000 damage on the back end there. So as much as I don't really want to, I have to break up the double pan rotation here, because this pan at the end, now that she's super attacked a few times and is going to be able to super attack this turn, she will tank these attacks on the end for very little damage, whereas as we saw on that previous turn, that Gohan will take 100,000 from Vegeta and around 70 to 80,000 from Nappa. So we definitely don't want to follow up a full heal by then losing over half of our health. So best for him to stay out of harm's way. And then Pan here should be all good defensively. She'll probably still take a fair bit of damage from a super attack, but she manages to take out Vegeta as well. And then yeah, she tanks for basically nothing and then dodges. So there you go. Basically that was definitely the right idea. And that leaves us completely safe for this turn. We already know the Go Bros can tank well enough now, and we managed to get a full 24 key super. So Nappa, being the only one left, is about to take a huge pummeling this turn from all of these guys together. That Gohan on the end as well, giving a 35% attack and defensive buff to the rotation. So yeah, 3.8 for the Go Bros, and Yes, that's a lot of damage. So didn't quite take him out, but the additional normal. So of course, Super Battle Road gonna be Super Battle Road, and because he survives with the tiniest sliver of health, Nappa super attacks us, and it is then up to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan to finish the job. So a little bit annoying that happened. Super Battle Road always seems to do this to you. If the enemy survives with the tiniest amount of health, they love to make sure they super attack you on the way out. But funnily enough, unless we catch a super attack in the wrong place, which can be said for every fight, to be fair, the final fight is actually probably the easiest, considering our main defensive setup is all STR units. So this turn, though, definitely a big risk. There's nowhere I can put that Tech Gohan to keep him safe. I consider putting him in the first rotation, but that's very dangerous. I'm kind of banking on B-Pan stunning Broly here, because if she can stun Broly, he's the only one attacking in the final slot. So Gohan won't have to take any damage, and we will be all good. So I'm kind of hoping we've got enough health that we should be okay, but even normal attacks are going to do a large amount of damage to that Gohan, and Pan not getting the stun, that is a big deal. So not looking great, especially 80k off a super attack. I don't think that was her guard activating. It was just because we have type advantage. So it's looking sketchy. I'm definitely concerned about how much damage Gohan is going to take here. But fortunately, I targeted Broly with him as well, and that low chance to stun that he has. I think he only has like a 20% chance to stun. It might even be lower than that. I should probably double check it. But that's not why I brought him, so I didn't check specifically what the chance was. But he manages to come through and stun Broly. So now that we're into this final fight, Gohan is actually always the safe bet for tanking more attacks than the Go Bros, just because if he does get super attacked, we're going to have that type advantage. But of course, in doing that, I've messed myself up a little bit here and put the Go Bros into a situation where they can't super attack, and then managed to completely fail in dropping the orbs so they would come more together. And so no super attack for B-Pan as well. So the start of this particular fight, although that stun from Gohan was clutch, not quite going as well as we would like on this first turn. Fortunately, though, the Go Bros build up their attack and defense by attacking. It doesn't have to be a super attack. So they still attack twice in the turn, which means we are still getting what we want, which is that raise up in their defense so that they can tank slightly better. So same as the last fight, really. I decided to pop this here and now just so B-Pan can do more damage and get more health back. But of course, I kind of overlooked the fact that the field of orbs is still looking pretty bad. And unfortunately, whichever way around I put these Gohans, I can't get her Ultra Super. Fortunately, though, she does still super early, just like she did before she became an LR. So we are still able to get off a super attack here and potentially get a stun and a heal. I mean, she's taking no damage in that front slot, which is really what we want. So we go in for trying to just get rid of Paragus as soon as possible here, really. And 10k from a super, not terrible. And then Gohan, not the worst damage for a support unit, I guess. And then my Gohan coming in here. I'm pretty sure he has 2 dupes, I want to say. So pretty decent damage, actually. And the damage he's taking on the way back is not too bad. So that's all looking good. But yeah, again, we are in a situation where it's impossible to keep this Tech Gohan safe from attacks. So, and obviously I have not got Broly stunned, nor is there anyone on the rotation who can stun. So definitely looking a bit dangerous. And not enough orbs for him to super either, so I target Broly with him anyway, because his build is basically dodge and additional. So if he can get off an additional super attack, then maybe we could get the stun, but that's obviously a lot to ask for. I'm kind of prepared that we are going to take a lot of damage on this turn, and I just hope that it's not going to be too much. So the additional from the Go Bros, enough to take out Paragus and finish him off for good. And then Gohan, 81, and he takes both hits. So yeah, quite a bit of damage lost there. As you can see, we are now under half HP, but we're back to business here. B-Pan with a support on rotation, Ultra Super, bunch of STR orbs for this Pan, and then just grab a bunch of orbs for this Gohan as well. So we're already in a much better position on this turn. Super attack from Broly, B-Pan's passive activates, so under 20k, and we are probably going to heal back a significant amount more than that, even if we don't get a crit here. So yeah, so that's like 150,000 HP restored right there. So absolutely back on track. And then Pan, she's gotten a couple of super attacks off by now, so yeah, she's taking no damage, or no damage literally by dodging again. So Gohan here probably going to get hit for quite a bit. Yeah, 65. He does have full dodge as well, since he is a support unit, so hopefully we can see that come in clutch again. And then, like I said on the previous turns, the Go 10 here is more of a guaranteed defender, because if Broly super attacks, Go 10 is going to take a lot less damage than the Go Bros, so I'd much rather put him in front of the 4 attacks here. Because look, he's still taking double digits from normals, but yeah, if he takes a super, he's going to take like half the damage that the Go Bros will take here. So, of course, Broly doesn't super attack him at all, which means we could be a little bit concerned here. But essentially, all we've got left to do is finish off Broly. Most of our team has type advantage, so we just have to keep laying the smackdown on him, getting the heals from B-Pan to keep us alive. And I feel like unless we get very unlucky, the game is pretty much in the bag. So thanks to knowing just how much damage that Broly deals now, I decided to do the same thing again and break up the Pan rotation. Put that Gohan in the middle just so he can not take 2 attacks at the back end. Plus that keeps him closer in the rotation, so he'll come back in 2 turns rather than 3. Because I feel like, because Broly hasn't supered for a while, and here it comes now, but at the start of the turn I figured I'd rather have him come back sooner, just in case Broly does super attack someone on maybe the next rotation and deal a little bit more damage than we would have liked. So basically it's definitely the best strategy on this turn, because yeah, we took 91 damage instead of taking like 160,000 by having the Gohan on Icarus get hit. So, and then look at this, just the perfect rotation. Go 10 in the front, tons of tech key for the Go Bros, and of course because I'm so busy focusing on what's the best way to put these units in a defensive position, yet again, twice in the same run, I forget about the Dokkan mode. So I managed to hit most of them. The mouse still proving to be annoying using the emulator, but I mean, hey, we've got type advantage. Go 10's not the worst in the world. We're following it up with a 18 key super from the LR, full 24 key in fact, and we have that support Gohan on the rotation. So I mean, 2.3 million for a Dokkan attack, that's not the worst in the world. Like it's nice to see Go 10 putting out those kind of numbers. And then 4.3 million from the Go Bros. So this is a hugely damaging turn. We dealt over 4 million damage in those first 2 attacks. So Broly very much on his way out here. And then the additional normal with a crit as well. Could SS2 Gohan finish the job here again with that final attack? And he does not get a crit. He does not finish him off. But here we go. I mean, 1 attack in the front and B-Pan ready to go. So full health thanks to that huge Dokkan hit. And there we go. So B-Pan doesn't hit the hardest, but she's going to finish him off here with the 12 key super, I would assume. And that's going to be the end of that. So yeah, she takes him out. That would have healed us as well. So we finished the fight on full HP thanks to that huge Dokkan attack and then the B-Pan healing. So there you go. That is the Hybrid Saiyans Super Battle Road stage. Cleared with no items used. Definitely not the hardest one of the categories, but like I said at the beginning, the whole idea of what we're doing at the moment is to get every single one of the stages recorded. So even the ones that might be considered easy, we've still got to get them on video and get them uploaded. Not the fastest run, obviously, like you've got to build your teams more defensively and you don't get to use items, so it does take a little bit longer, but we managed to do it with no items used, and that Gohan on Icarus definitely came in clutch. So let me know down below in the comments. I know a couple of you guys have done this stage with no items. Let me know what teams you used, and let me know which one out of the categories I haven't done next you would like to see me try. Miri had the idea, shout out to him. I might do a stream where I try some of the stages that I don't think can be done, because as much as I hate to admit it, Global is missing some cards that JP has that makes some of the stages really, really hard, like Fusions, Patara, and Realm of Gods are incredibly difficult. So I'm still trying out those. I need to do Super, and Extreme is quite hard as well, but Super is another one that I've done off camera and just need to get done on video, so maybe I will just do that one next. But let me know if the stream is something you guys would like to see, because it's probably going to be a lot of failed attempts. But anyway, that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord, the link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.